Hey everybody, welcome back to Heaven is Waiting for You. It's so nice, as always, to be back on here, just being guided by God with whatever He wants me to talk about. I have a really busy life as a mom, and my daughter's here. I said, you can be in here with me, that's totally fine. So anyways, we're getting ready for a big trip. I don't know how much I'll be able to be on here doing shorts or even videos at all. We'll see what happens. I mean, God is the God of all possibilities, so anything is possible. But I'll be gone from July 3rd to the 31st. We're going to Poland as a family. The kids are going to meet their grandparents for the first time in person. So that is really, really special. And I'm so thankful that He has allowed this to happen. I've been praying for it, so please pray for us that all things will go smoothly and that we'll just have a really blessed time over there with his family, my husband's family. So the Lord really moved me to talk about that time. Sorry, I think my daughter left. Okay, that's fine. The Lord really wanted me to, I feel called to talk about just going from Scotland over to back to Canada and that time, because that in a previous video I said that I reprofessed only 2 times, but it was more. It was 3 or 4 times. I'm so sorry. It's so crazy with my memories because I don't know what it is. I guess my therapist had said that it has to do with trauma. So just working through that, bear with me. So yeah, it would have been the 3rd or 4th time that the final time was right before I moved back to Canada with Simon, my new husband at that time. So 2018 was a really big year for me. And, being in Scotland, that brought me back into the 2x2s. I remember being really, really resistant at first because my one relative would invite me all the time. Hey, do you want to come to Wednesday night meeting with me? That kind of thing. And I remember the hardness in my heart. It was I don't want to go. No. I would be respectful about it, but I remember the feeling at the time. It was just I was just not interested. Even though before that, I kind of was wow, I was all mixed up in New Age for a while there, and I was trying to clean up my life a bit more, and I was whoa, when that happened, that opportunity happened for me to go over to Scotland because of everything that had happened with Simon, having to go back to Poland from Canada. I was just wow, this might be how things were lining up. I was oh wow, maybe God is in this and wants me to go over there, and maybe I will reprofess. I don't know. I don't feel willing for it, but we'll see what happens, because I felt almost a drawing back to God, but I only thought that was through the 2x2 way. So yeah, I just remember in Scotland sitting in the meetings all the time and kind of getting to know everybody in that small little meeting and stuff. I remember it, I always looked different, right? I'm not wearing my hair up in a bun and that kind of thing. I would be respectful and wear a dress or something like that, but I definitely did not look the part. But I just remember my one relative kind of looking at me in the meeting, looking me up and down. I knew there was a unspoken disapproval about how I was looking, and I kind of always dealt with that my whole life. So anyways, that's fine. But yeah, there was just people over there. They were really lovely, and I got to know a lot of them and stuff. And this one older woman, I can't remember if she used to be a worker. She may have, but she was very, very old. And her and I wrote back and forth with letters here and there for a while. And she was quite lovely, but yeah, she would talk about being, hoping that I would stay in the way and that kind of thing, and trying to encourage me the best that she could. So God bless her. I don't even know if she's alive still, to be honest. But I pray that if she is still alive, that, whatever her journey is with Jesus, that it would be rooted and founded in Christ alone. And So, wow. Again, there's so many things that have happened in my life. So maybe I'll start from like I had literally just reprofessed, and then did I get married after that? It must have been, no, hang on. I think I'd just gotten married, and then I was like, okay, now I'm not, sinning anymore. That's what happened, yes. So, a Wednesday night meeting, I just remember in my mind being very logical about it. I was like, I'm ready to recommit. Like, I'm married to Simon now, and this is what I should do. And so I think I told everybody, because yeah, they were happy for me. And there was this one worker that was a distant relative of mine, and she was quite young, and there was this other worker that was kind of around her age as well. And I remember meeting up with them, and I was like, should I start taking part in meeting here and stuff? And then they said that they had to talk to, I think, a head worker. And he had told them that, because then Simon and I, my husband, we were going to move back to Canada, because that was the main reason why I'd gone over there, was to see if it would work out and if we wanted to get married, because we had been dating a while, but it just didn't feel like the right circumstances if he was having to go back to Poland. Like, yeah, it just, the timing of it just wasn't the most, like, it could have worked out. It could have, like, every marriage is a risk, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's just how it happened. So the sister workers were like, yeah, that head worker just said, when you get back to Canada, because I was going to be going back in the summertime, and a convention in Canada was going to be happening, that I could just stand up there and show everybody that I had professed. So that's what I ended up doing. And I just remember in my testimony, when I stood up at the convention, I was so nervous, and I didn't talk long. I never talk long at all. I was like, like talking so fast because I'm so nervous. But I was kind of sitting in the front, not the very front of the convention. If you don't know what conventions are, you can look back in previous videos and you can learn a bit more about what the 2x2 kind of 2x2 way does. But this was, yeah, just the workers were sitting in the front, and then the platform, obviously, and the workers would come out and speak for like almost 2 hours per meeting. I think the gospel meeting at night is only an hour. It's weird because I forget these details, even though I was in it practically my whole life. So I got up and I just said something about the fact that over in Scotland, like, I did feel like, probably because nobody knew much about my family at all, and that I was just related to some through my dad's side in Scotland to some of the 2x2s, that they didn't judge me like people judged me back in Canada. And I didn't say that in particular, but I just said that I felt like a very non-judgmental kind of love from people over there, and for the most part, right? And what else? I just remember whatever I said, everybody kind of went silent, and I just was like, you know what, I felt so joyful and happy that I had recommitted my life to Jesus and that kind of thing. And Simon, my husband, was sitting right beside me, and he's not from the 2x2s whatsoever. He grew up pretty strict Catholic, and he's on his own journey with that. So yeah, like after that, I really was so happy. Like, I was like, wow, I got married, and maybe Simon will end up coming to the meetings, that kind of thing. And here I'm starting this new life with him as a married couple in Canada. Finally, we can move forward, maybe start a family, that kind of thing. And so anyways, we decided to live in Quesnel, and my father at the time was willing to have us live there because Simon could not work until he got was it permanent residence? I guess that was what he needed to get in order to or was it permanent residence? I think there might have been something before where he could like actually work, so we had to get that first. And so it was on me to actually like start working again. So I worked at just a local grocery store. One of my best friends, she got me a job there because she was working there. Worked there for a while. And then I ended up at a health food store. I have some wild stories at that store. And then I kind of half was working at at the hospital, local hospital there, and I was doing the cleaning. So that was a very physical job, and that was really interesting too, working there. So yeah, and that's the thing, is like in that time I was so involved with the meetings, you know, with my grandma and my grandpa, and it was amazing because Simon actually got to know them a lot better, and I felt like it was so beautiful because my grandpa ended up dying, and it was just really beautiful to have those memories with my grandpa, and I don't regret that at all, even though I was going to the meetings and all that. And I just remember always having anxiety still about giving my part in the meeting, the testimonies, the prayers, that kind of thing, because I knew that I didn't fully conform to even just like the way that people would speak. You know, it's just the same things over and over again about wanting to be faithful, and just having sort of like this beaten down, like, oh, I didn't do so great this week, I need to do better this next week, and like just not a ton of joy. And I know I've said that in other videos. So it was interesting too, because I remember especially when I found out that I was pregnant with Steven, that really shifted a lot of things for me. I started thinking about more things, and like it's interesting because my husband and I ended up living in the basement that was not totally closed off to the upstairs. It was somebody that knew my stepmom actually, and it was the woman that she knows, her son, that was just looking for somebody to kind of live in and pay some rent and stuff like that. So it worked out actually pretty good, but there was a lot of very interesting things going on in that house. And I mean, from the things that I was struggling with, I think I invited demonic activity in as well. But I would get sleep paralysis like all the time, and it was so scary, and it kept happening and it kept happening, and I was just starting to get like very I just felt very resentful towards everything, and I was feeling very like controlled, and I was trying to conform. I was trying to look more like a worker, like the ministers of the 2x2s, and thinking that I would be more holy, more acceptable to God, that kind of thing. But then on the other side, like I remember being pregnant with Steven, and I had this moment in my room with God where I was like, Lord, thank you for entrusting me with this beautiful, precious soul that I'm about to have. I can't believe that you're allowing me to have this baby one day, very soon. And it's almost like I made a covenant with God. I said, Lord, like I don't know what I'm doing, like please guide me. Like I promise Steve, like I didn't have a name yet, but I promise my child to you, like that I will raise him to know you. And it was so powerful, the feeling I felt God's presence all of a sudden. And this was me as a 2x2, and it felt like a covenant with him. He was like, it was like a promise, and he was like, I promise to help you. It was beautiful. It was actually beautiful. I've told almost nobody that. And yeah, and he's been faithful. I didn't even realize what I was getting myself into with that. Because literally when I left the 2x2s, I had Steven. I think Steven's coming in here. Hi, honey, I'm doing a video. Hey, come here for a sec. It's okay. I'm doing a really important video, and I was actually just talking about you. What's up? What's up? You okay? Here. Oh, now we can hear the laundry outside. This little boy has such a love for Jesus. It's so beautiful, and God has been so faithful. And I'm by no means a perfect mother. I have had my ups and downs like crazy, especially when I left the 2x2. So much emotional turmoil. This little boy has been through a lot. But it's so amazing how God has helped me to just lay that foundation. Like, he's given me wisdom that's nothing to do with my own wisdom. Oh my goodness, I have no wisdom. I need God every day. But just to teach Stephen about Jesus, and not about anything to do with like religion or just like all the guilt and the shame that I felt. Stephen, he doesn't need to have that in his life, you know. So I can't wait to see what Stephen grows up to be. He has his own little personality, and I don't want to squash that, you know what I mean? I felt like I was always trying to be something as a child that was being squashed because they wanted me there was like this conformity, like you need to be a certain way or you're not acceptable to God. Sorry for the foot. Okay, Stephen, I'm talking about God. I'm talking to God. I know. Do you want to wait for me out there and we can do something together after?
I want my gummy rabbit.
Gummy rabbits. Maybe. Yeah. Once I'm done talking?
Yes.
I'm almost done, okay? I'll meet you out there, I promise.
I'll go watch
okay. Okay, watch your animal show. He loves animals. That's really, really amazing. Hey, Stephen, can you close the door for me? Just because of your show, so it's not in the background. Please? Can you close the door? Thank you, honey. Oh, thank you, Eva. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so where was I? Oh, yeah, okay, so that covenant was very, very powerful. And yeah, it's amazing to see, like, God works in all lives, like, no matter what situation you're in, like, even as a 2x2, like, I can't say that 2x2s don't have God working in their life, because he is working in every single person's life. And that is very interesting, because I always thought as well that God only worked in 2x2 lives. Everybody else was Dunsky, basically, which yeah, is interesting, because then how are they supposed to come to the one true way, a supposed one true way, right, if God's not working in their lives? So God is working in all lives, that is for sure. That was really amazing to experience with God, and I praise him so much. I'll get to the part where I started working at this health food store in town, because that was very, very interesting, and God really grew me in a lot of ways. So I started working at this health food store, and I already had previous knowledge, and I went in there. I had some bad health problems, even living in Scotland and stuff. For a long time, I had, it's called small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, SIBO, and I did not know it for the longest time. I think I've had it for like really long time. I always had digestive problems. I have gluten allergies, that kind of thing, dairy intolerance, all of that. And it just got really, really bad. I think probably from the stress of like Simon having to go back to Poland and trying to figure out all this stuff. Like, I think stressful times in my life made it really a lot worse. So my mind, like, I really was lacking like nutrients or something, because I just couldn't really think very well. And at the store, it was all like manual, like a manual register and stuff, so you would have to like figure out the numbers and stuff. So that was like kind of hard for me, and there's just little things that were kind of hard for me at first, and I think they maybe questioned me being competent for the job. The one girl that was there was like pretty nice to me at first, and then I started to see something kind of just would come out, like not around our boss, but when we were kind of alone. I don't know, like something just glazed over her eyes, and she would completely be different. Like, there was times where her and I got along so well, and we'd have this really amazing conversation. She was really kind to me, supportive, showing me like patient. And then other times something with her eyes, like, would just go black, like glaze over, and she would just like lash out at me, and she would like boss me around, or like give me a look where it was like I can't even explain it, but just know, like it felt like I didn't even really know too much about, I don't know, like I did know about demonic activity, but I was so confused about it. I don't know. And some things I just thought that it wasn't, but I remember her having like, she would like sit and basically do nothing and not help the customers, nothing like that. And then she started to talk bad about me to the boss, that kind of thing, and try to like undermine me, and I probably try to push me out of there. But I remember praying for her at that time, and I said, please God, like I don't know what to do, like she's being so horrible to me, and I'm not doing anything. I'm just trying to be there to work the best that I can and help the customers, and help the customers get what they need, you know, health wise. And I truly cared about everybody there and wanted to help them. So I remember there was some Saturdays where my boss would put me on, and I would rake in so much money because I would work so hard, like just be all around talking to everybody, and I was all by myself too. I didn't even have the other girl, you know, there with me. So all of a sudden my boss started to notice that this was happening, and the other girl wasn't bringing in anything, like nothing, because she would just sit there and not help. She, like, you know, like hi, and then just let people walk around and stuff like that and not help them. So then she ended up having to go get a different job, and then I was promoted. Hi honey, what's up? This was, yeah, I think it does fit. I think it does fit you. Wow, my kiddo is really.
Let me try it on.
You can go try it on. Go ahead. Hi Steven. Oh, everybody's in here now. That's fine. Okay, go ahead. Hi Steven, you're back. I feel like I'm having a hard time getting this story to finish here, but I know, honey, you're so cute.
I'm watching a boom.
So boom boom boom. You're so funny. Okay, don't do that. No. Oh no. Can you say I love Jesus?
I love Jesus.
Ah, that's cute. That's better. Yay! So I just remember like knowing that God was present in all of this stuff, and I was starting to recognize God really truly working in my life, and I had like this heart of forgiveness towards this girl for how she was treating me. And near the end, she would kind of like, she would treat me like I was her servant. Like she would be in the office and I'd be like, hey, like there's like, because our boss wanted us to always have the stuff in the sink all washed, and I'd be like, do you want me to wash your cup for you? And she would be like, yeah, that's your job pretty much, and stuff like that. And I'd be like, okay, wow. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, I'll do it. And she started to get like low energy all the time, and like almost like falling asleep at work, and it was almost like something was physically like draining her. And even our boss noticed it. She's like, something is up with, I don't want to say her name, but I was just like, yeah, it's so interesting, I don't know what's going on with her. And she's like, yeah, she's just not fully present, and she's like falling asleep all the time at work and stuff. And anyways, I just kept praying and praying, and so anyways, she ended up leaving. She had to leave because yeah, she just wasn't doing her job. So that was sad. Hey honey, don't do that, okay? I'm almost done. Hey, I'm almost done. Okay, once moment of attention. Yeah, go watch your Zaboomba. Thank you, I'm almost done. You'll have to excuse me, this is just my life. I'm just, yeah, I have so much to do, but I did feel called by the Lord to just talk about just like God working in my life, even as a 2x2. You look beautiful. You look so beautiful. Yes, it does fit you. Go look in the mirror. Go look in the mirror. I'm almost done my video, okay? Love you. It's okay. Go look at it. Just keep looking at it and twirl in it. She got a new dress. Oh my goodness, sorry. I feel like I'm all over the place right now, but yeah, I just knew that God was working in there, and I was starting to let go and trust God with certain situations. Like, I could have tried in my own strength to totally manipulate everything and make her like talk to my boss about how horrible she is, blah blah blah. Um, but I really just, God was really softening my heart. And this is so funny. There was this one woman that came in. She looked kind of like a 2x2, but I knew that she wasn't because I would know. And there was a random bee in the health food store, and it was coming near her, and she said, "In Jesus' name, go away, bee," and the bee just flew off. And I remember in my mind being so judgmental of that because I'm like, that is so strange. But I don't know, like somehow it was almost like it made me think. And now I know the power in Jesus' name, that even in physical things, he's there. His power is there waiting for us. So that was very interesting. I just feel like there was so many things that God was like working and chipping away at to bring me out of the deception of the 2x2s. And I know everybody's experience is varying. And I just recently had somebody really, really angry that's a 2x2 saying that I've never heard anything about works, like, you know, we're saved by grace and something along the lines that they believe the Trinity. So, I mean, that goes to show you that it's not the same all across the board, that's for sure. Hi, honey. Oh my goodness, you look so beautiful. Okay, I'm almost done my video. I love it. You look stunning. It is so, so pretty. I love the flowers on it, Eva. Do you love it?
But it doesn't twirl.
It doesn't twirl? Go try again. Go try again with the twirling. So what else did I want to share? Yeah, like the demonic activity, even there was such a bad depression that I think was coming from me and also the guy that we were living with, that lived upstairs. And I just remember a lot of just like depressive thinking, lots of anxiety. He would talk about his problems all the time with me, that kind of thing. And that wasn't good either. And I actually found out that he grew up Christian, which was so interesting, but he wasn't, you know, like he wasn't practicing. I guess he just wasn't a Christian currently at the moment, but he was talking about his family, like his parents being Christian and stuff like that. So ever since then, I've just kind of prayed for them off and on. I just feel like God has brought so many situations and people and circumstances into my life for different reasons, and I'm so thankful that he has set me free. Like I basically was dealing with all this demonic stuff my whole life, basically leading up to the moment that I got saved. And I don't deal with any sort of demonic activity anymore. Maybe more like maybe an agitation, that kind of thing, but not feeling any sort of evil presence anymore, because I felt stalked by a demon for a long time, and it was because of my sin and because of secret sin, that kind of thing that I was a slave to. And I'm just so thankful that God has worked away at that, you know, self-righteousness and that judgmental attitude towards people. Like even like that girl that I worked with, I won't lie, like I had a hard time, especially at first. I was like, why are you treating me like this? I never did anything to deserve that. But he really helped me to love her, like to love her soul. Like I still pray for her that she will be saved. She kind of had a new agey kind of background. So anyways, God bless you. I better go. The kids want me, so I will go now. But if this speaks to anybody, so be it. Whatever the Lord has for anybody out there, it's just nice to share some experiences from my past. So God bless you, and remember, heaven is waiting for you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.